30, why don't we get started? Just so everybody knows, and department heads too. After we do the resolutions, we're going to go into an executive session, just the legislators, so everybody else can leave. Just so you know. Okay, and I know we're waiting for, Brian's supposed to be on Zoom. And I know Jim's a few minutes late. Andy's, well, I'll let you go through the.
You want me to go through it?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Jim Vasile is going to be late. Andy Dennison is excused. Lydia Patarafini. Here. Chris Petrus.
Here.
Eileen McNabb Coleman. Present. Bob Shay.
Here.
Hans Petcher.
Here.
Mark Strong.
Here.
Heidi Nightingale.
Present.
Elaine Daly.
Here.
Trisha Kerr.
Here.
Christine Clarko.
Here.
Michael Didio.
Here.
Brian Muldrow. David Gould.
Hopefully he'll be a little later, but he
Yeah,
did
we'll
say he
watch
was coming. Yeah, present. Okay, could we all stand for the pledge, please? And we'll silence afterwards. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. The agenda, thanks, Jim. How you doing?
Here.
Thanks, Jim.
We have 4 resolutions, 4 were polled, and I'll explain that later, but why don't we start right off with ledge 1? It'll be authorizing the appointment of the Cayuga County Auditor and setting of the salary.
Chairman,
Yes,
I'd like to have the honor of proposing Francis Mitchell for Claims Auditor, my old friend, an old colleague of many people in this building, so.
and thank you. I heard you're the one that reached out to him, so thank God we have an auditor, because I want to thank Shireen again for filling in for 4 months or whatever it's been, 5 months without an auditor. She's been doing her regular job plus that. So finally we do, and I think this person is starting when, Shireen? Next week?
Yes. Yes.
Second.
Any discussion on,
I'd like to say that Fran will look at everything he's given and then some.
yes,
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure if there's a typo in the second to last resolve. The compensation for the position of clerk to the legislative board is $32 per hour. Should that be the county auditor?
Yes, that was supposed to have been repaired.
Good a time as any.
good catch. Good catch. Okay, any other discussion on Fran? I know some of you know Fran Mitchell, some of you don't, I'm sure, but
Do I have to call for an amendment?
Mr. Chair,
want to call for an, yes,
point of order though, before we move,
go ahead.
do we need to do an amendment?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're just saying that.
Just asked. You're
So-
on. Love you.
Leah, can you say one more time the amendment? So-
Yes, I would like to call for an amendment to this resolution, changing the verbiage for the compensation for the position of clerk to the legislative board is $32 per hour, and amend that to read the compensation for the position of county auditor is $32 per hour.
Second.
You got that? Any discussion on the amendment? If not, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we'll do the resolution as amended. Can I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Second,
Second.
discussion. Jim?
So unfortunately, I'm not as old as Hans. I'm younger legislators. I don't know Francis. I'm sure he's, can someone give a little bit of his history or?
He was a former legislator.
Just so we know.
I believe he served with my mother for a couple terms. I believe, wasn't he an accountant by trade?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Outstanding guy. You probably met him at the brunch.
Okay.
He sat behind you. He's a bean counter.
Okay. No, I'm just curious.
I think everybody that doesn't know Fran will love Fran. He's just an outstanding guy. Down to earth. So that was discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, passed. Ledge 2, authorizing home rule request in support of legislation enact to amend the tax law in relation to extending the expiration of the authority granted to Cayuga County to impose an additional 1% of sales and compensating use tax and adopting and confirming resolution 57-23.
Move it.
Second,
Second, Basile. I would look
Discussion?
For discussion.
Did this go through emergency resolution process?
No,
Didn't go through.
no,
Okay.
didn't have to. We were advised by, whether it was the assemblyman's representative or the senator's representative, they were satisfied with what had been sent. But this is just a general housekeeping so that crossing i's and dotting t's.
Exactly.
Yep, and we'll have it certified. So that's no-
it was going to go through.
Yeah, I know. I gave it a verbal.
Because we did discuss this, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We did discuss this a month or more ago and it didn't get through. Was that what happened?
No, it did. It didn't have the assembly numbers and bill numbers
Oh,
listed in the resolution. So it is there now. But we were advised not to do the emergency process because they'd already been sent off and they were fine.
Just a couple of historical questions or questions about the history on this. How often are we required to do this?
3 years.
Every 3 years? And it just
Might be
increases.
two, actually, it might be two now. It was three the last time we did it.
I think it's two.
Yeah. They were trying to go indefinitely. They were trying to extend it. It was a disaster for a little while on the state legislature side. I think it is two, yeah.
And just to be clear, this is what happened way back when to increase from 7 1/4 to 8 1/4. Is that correct?
Not 7 to 8, but yeah.
7 to 8.
It doesn't say in the resolution 2 or 3 years, but I think you're right. I think it's 2 years.
Two this time. It was
Yeah.
three last time.
Should it say that in the resolution? or-
It doesn't. Doesn't say how many years.
Right, but should it say that it needs to be revisited or? Because there's no end date either. I don't.
What we're advocating for is the state legislature to pass a law saying that Cayuga County has the ability to impose a 1% additional sales tax for the period of time ending. So it'll be in state law when it ends. It'll say December.
maybe I'm confused, but if we didn't, we'd go back to our 3%.
Yes, it's for the
The
additional
state would have
1%.
theirs, we would have 3. Now Cayuga has 4.
Still, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Tristan, do you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me? I said aye on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yes. Ledge 3, approving the collective bargaining agreement between Civil Service Employees Association and the County of Cayuga for a period of January 1st, 2023, to December 31st, 2025. I was hoping some CSE members would be here, but they're not. But can I get a motion?
I'd like to call for an executive session for everybody for a couple quick questions.
For this?
Yes. Can I do that?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
it has to be about.
It's contract negotiations. And I can't imagine that any of that discussion would be supportive of the contract, but if some of it was opposed to the contract for particular reasons, you could deal with that in executive session because you don't want to have the other side hearing what is said, and it would be contract negotiations.
So is that a yes then?
Well,
I mean, Pete's here. Pete can explain.
I'd ask a motion.
We got some emails on it and stuff, but I felt like I was getting more of the Reader's Digest version and I wanted to make sure that, maybe I'm the only one. If I'm the only one, then I'm fine with that, but
Up to you, Jim.
it's just,
I mean, you're a legislator. You want to go into executive session when you get a second? We can. If
just
you
kind of
want.
wanted to. Yes, I do. If
Is there a second for executive session?
I'll second this right to do that.
Okay, all in favor of executive session?
Got it.
All right.
All opposed? All opposed for executive session?
Hasn't it been ratified?
Not by us. It hasn't been passed by us. It's been
This is the
ratified.
part that we'll
We
be able
passed.
to ratify
Yes, we
after this
approved.
vote. Okay,
So Jim, that was defeated.
I'm not gonna
I don't
vote.
know that it was.
No, yeah, it was. All right, all in favor of going into executive session, raise your hand. That's to go into executive session.
For contract negotiation.
Yep. Anybody opposed? I am. Okay, passed. Let's go into executive session.
Dave, is there going to be a Zoom link for that?
I'm gonna have to call her.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, I think, because of, we weren't gonna do this, I think it's set up, Trish, but we'll give you a call on the
I'll
phone.
call you, Trish, if I get your.
Okay, that
Right.
sounds good.
Just a couple
Someone's
quick
got her
questions.
number.
Sorry, department heads, this won't take long, I hope. Pete, you ready? Session,
Move it.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, passed. Okay, go back to ledge 3.
Move it, Basile.
Second.
Any discussion, any further discussion? I just want to say a couple of things in public. Bob, for one thing, I didn't recognize you. I'm sorry. So CSEA is represented here today. I'm glad you came, so I apologize not seeing you. And I just want to thank our committee from the county, Shereen, Lynn, Diane, and Hans, and certainly Pete. And we appreciate it very, very much for all the time that you spent on this, because it was a lot of time. I think it was at least 6 months, wasn't it, Bob? Yeah. And I think at the end, I think it's very fair. I was happy with it. I think in your ratification, I think you guys were happy with it. Nobody's ever completely gonna get everything they want. We know that, but I think it ended up negotiating very thoroughly. We appreciate yourself.
If I was to stand up and speak, I'd say the exact same things. Thanks to everybody. It was, I felt it was the least adversarial negotiations I've ever been in. And I think a big part of that is your leadership, Dave. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Bob. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passed. Congratulations, Bob. Can you make sure you email everybody tonight or whatever they're doing? Thank you very much. Okay, ledge 4, amending certified resolution 174-23 to reflect the correct salary range for grade 5, part 4 of the non-bargaining compensation plan. Elaine's here to explain it a little bit if anybody has any questions, but let me get a motion first.
I'll move it.
Second, discussion.
Just quickly, I got a call.
Thanks, Pete.
I got a call the other day from Diane Ferris saying that a resolution that we all passed in April, which was to create the grade 5 Director of Health Education and the Public Information Officer position, had a technical error in it. The actual grade, the grade stayed the same, grade 5, but when the resolution was updated, the incorrect grade range was put in that resolution. They have a candidate that they want to hire with quite a bit of experience. Diane did not feel comfortable going ahead and moving forward with this and setting the salary, because technically the grade that was in the original resolution that was certified didn't have the correct information. So all this does is correct that range. And, she agreed subsequent to that, if we create a non-bargaining position, we should put the grade in and leave the range out. I certainly had the information someone asked, but what happened was the range was listed in that resolution incorrectly. So all this does is correct it.
I have a question.
Mark.
Sorry.
I will say that Diane did send me an email stating just what Elaine just did, and she did personally call me and explain it to me, because I had questioned it
Yep.
at the meeting. So
I said to her, if the grade is correct in the 2023, why do we have to correct it? And then I said, that's great, Diane. She technically wanted it.
Yep,
Yes.
she was very good about it. Made it a point to reach out to me because
Yep.
and she did fine.
Yeah. So she really called it really housekeeping in terms of upgrading the information.
Lydia?
Okay, no additional questions. Thank you.
Trish, did you, I keep forgetting you're on there. You got the vote on the CSEA contract, right?
Yes, I couldn't get my mute off quick enough for the actual vote, but I got it off for the no votes, and I was definitely a yes vote on that.
All
So,
right.
yeah, thanks for
Thanks,
asking, Dave.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Yes, thank you. Unless someone else has something else, can I get a motion to go into executive session? Oh, go ahead.
You mentioned that you would talk about what happened with pulling 5 through 8. That we pulled ledge 5, 6, 7, and 8, and you mentioned that we would hear why that happened.
We will.
Oh, okay, after, thank you.
Okay.
No additional questions. Thank you.
Okay, motion to go into executive session?
Over.
Move it. Second?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Mr. Chair, did you want to talk? Oh, you already told them that they can leave.
Yeah, everybody else can leave if you want to. There'll be no vote coming out, so you're more than welcome to leave. Thank you all. Bob, thank you again.